and let us all do we can to build a better future.
All right, we got ourselves a new Speaker of the House. That's right. So he's an ally to Donald Trump, Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson is now the new U.S. Speaker of the House of Representatives. So there's a lot to unpack with this. First of all, Matt Gaetz won. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's Speaker of the House right now. Matt Gaetz got a huge victory. I think more or less, I would say he should be content with the huge win that he has and how much political power he has shown in the U.S. House of Representatives. Clearly, he is somebody that will not be going away anytime soon. And the whole purpose of this channel is, again, to cover the news, give an analysis, opinion, and commentary on current events. Now, Mike Johnson, as I said before, he is a supporter of Donald Trump. So let's talk about who he is. Don't worry, folks. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Nothing's going to fundamentally change. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who controls the House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, or who is in the White House, be it Democrat or Republican. Know this, Goldman Sachs is going to have the final say. But it's rather interesting to see how this all played out. And by the way, just for Fat Tony, I mean Cenk Uygur and Sammy Boy Cedar. Force the vote works. You know, remember how I covered earlier on the show, early this past week, especially when Hakeem Jeffries got a huge vote by Democrats, and he was actually beating out the Republicans because there were 22 Republican holdouts, and Hakeem Jeffries didn't become speaker. Sam Cedar, write a well-written letter of apology to Breonna Joy Gray. I'll expect that by the end of this month. Do it right now. So let's talk about him. Let's talk about who Mike Johnson is. And I got an article here from RT just to trigger the liberals and the vote blue no matter who crowd. Republican Mike Johnson, a staunch supporter of former President Donald Trump, has been elected as Speaker of the House of Representatives. The result comes after weeks of congressional gridlock and signals of noticeable shift towards the right for his party in the lower chamber. A total of 220 House Republicans threw their support behind Johnson during the Wednesday afternoon vote on the House floor. No Democrats endorsed his candidacy. That should come as no surprise. And again, the only way Johnson would not have become Speaker of the House if some Republicans withheld their vote or they broke ranks and voted for Hakeem Jeffries or something like that. But that didn't happen. The House had been without a speaker since October 3rd, when a group of Republican rebels led by Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida ousted the former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, citing his secret deal with the White House to pass a bill sending more money to Ukraine. Republicans, who have a slim majority in the House, have struggled to appoint McCarthy's replacement ever since, holding up any legislative business in a chamber. Jim Jordan of Ohio and Tom Emmer of Minnesota failed to get enough votes within their conference, and for a moment, it even looked like some Republicans might help Democrats elect a minority speaker. No, not going to happen. Johnson has drawn criticism from Ukraine supporters on both sides of the aisles for being a consistent critic of sending money to Kiev. Hey, all right, great. Hey, listen, Mike Johnson, on the off chance you see this video, could you help out the people of Maui? An aid package, not just a one-time $700, okay? Those people lost their homes. And something needs to be done with the people of East Palestine, Ohio. They've been exposed to dangerous chemicals. And Flint, Michigan does not have safe, clean drinking water. So, I don't know, just maybe consider it. Maybe. It would be ever so nice. Here's a quote. We should not be sending another $40 billion abroad when our own border is in chaos. American mothers are struggling to find baby formula. Gas prices are at record highs. And American families are struggling to make ends meet without sufficient oversight over where the money will go, he said. So what can we say about Mike Johnson? Well, on the one hand, hey, I like the idea that possibly, maybe, sort of, maybe the war in Ukraine could end, or maybe we finally stop sending them billions of dollars. Who knows? But hey, folks, like I said before, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. New U.S. House Speaker Johnson. The first bill I'm going to bring to this floor will be in support of our dear friend Israel. Look at me. Do you really think? Do you really think these politicians care about Americans? I mean, come on. Come on. It's you, the average citizen. You're not even at the bottom of the totem pole. You're the dirt underneath the totem pole. So let's play this video. I know. Bear with me.
Extraordinary crisis right now. And the world needs us to be strong. They need us to remember our creed and our admonition. Turmoil and violence have rocked the Middle East and Eastern Europe. We all know it. And tensions continue to build in the Indo-Pacific. The country demands strong leadership of this body, and we must not waver. Our nation's greatest ally in the Middle East is under attack. The first bill that I'm going to bring to this floor in just a little while will be in support of our dear friend Israel, and we're overdue in getting that done.
Overdue. How about something like an aid package for Americans? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm dreaming too much. Okay. Maybe I'm holding too much of a high standard for our politicians, because again, even when I think something good might happen, I'm always disappointed. Never trust a politician. Never trust them, because they all have their own agenda.
We're going to show not only Israel, but the entire world that the barbarism of Hamas that we have all seen play out on our television screens is wretched and wrong. And we are going to stand for the good in that conflict.
The good. All the while ignoring the fact that women and children are being bombed. Okay. All right. Great. So now let's go ahead and pull up this video, because I think it's important for us to see where Matt Gaetz stands in all of this, because this is somebody who has been one of the individuals to actually prove the effectiveness of force to vote and the force to vote tactic. If I was Matt Gaetz right now, he's probably thinking about his political career 6 years down the road, maybe for U.S. Senate, or dare I say it, the next presidential election cycle. He just showed everyone in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party that he is going to get his way no matter what, and will use any tactic necessary in order to achieve victory. Look, I'm not going to vote Democrat or Republican, but I will give respect where it's due, and Matt Gaetz effectively used power to get what he wants. I'll admit it. I'm a little bit jealous. I wish our politicians, I wish we had progressive Democrats that had the courage to maybe do that to Nancy Pelosi. But alas, we don't live in that world. What a sight it would have been. Shout out to Case Study QB. Be sure to follow him on Twitter. He is wrongly being censored. So let's play this video.
Let's get right to it. What does today's speaker vote mean? And did you cut any side deals this time like we heard about last time?
No side deals. This speaker election means that the House Republican Conference is united. Really, for the first time, this Congress, we are united behind a man of deep faith who obeys Almighty God and the Constitution.
Almighty God and the Constitution. Okay. All right, whatever. Hey, it's what he believes. Let's hear. Let's see where he goes with this.
Before all else, and I was proud to support him. He's not someone who comes from any particular faction of the Republican conference.
I don't know about that.
Well, he has strong relationships from our most moderate members to our most conservative members. And you know what? Everyone feels listened to with Mike Johnson. He has a great tone, a great leadership skill stack, and I'm going to do everything I can to make him successful.
One of the things that you and several Republicans got changed at the beginning of the year was you made it easier to remove a speaker in real time. Then you exercise that authority. So people are seeing a Congress, a set of news cycles here that are because of what you guys did. We're told that continues. So would you be as eager to use that rule to topple this speaker as McCarthy, or this was kind of one and done for you?
If he's smart, he'll say yes. That's how you show people that you're a force to be feared. But then again, too, you want to be tactical and say, it's just have it in my hip back pocket when I need to use it. So it's important to note that this could have been done by the 15 congressmen and women on the forced to vote petition. Just imagine what that would look like if AOC and other progressives made Nancy Pelosi have a headache. Wouldn't that have been great to see? Maybe in another world.
Well, we have Republicans and Democrats who are interested in raising the threshold for the motion to vacate beyond just one member. And just this morning, I met with Speaker Johnson about that and about those desires. And here's what I've offered. Ro Khanna of California, a Democrat, and I have worked on some bipartisan anti-corruption rule changes for the House that wouldn't allow members of Congress to become lobbyists or registered foreign agents.
I may not agree with some of his other political standings, but, you know, I hope there's sincerity. I hope in one hand, crap in the other. See which one fills up faster. But it is rather refreshing to hear, hey, maybe these jag-off politicians shouldn't have a nice, cushy lobbyist career waiting for them. Remember, these politicians have gold-plated health care, earn a six-figure salary, and have other wonderful social benefits. All right? And if anyone Congress tells you, oh no, woe is me, my life is so hard, please give them the bird. I don't care where they stand in the political spectrum. Okay? Any of these jag-off politicians say, I work hard and I struggle to pay my... No, you don't. Don't talk like you're one of us. You're in that swamp in D.C. But it is refreshing to hear somebody talk about anti-corruption. Now, Matt, you do know that Ro Khanna does some of that insider trading too. Just throwing it out there. Heads up, buddy.
That wouldn't allow members of Congress to accept donations from lobbyists and political action committees, and that would stop members of Congress from trading individual stocks. So if we could approach that Khanna-Gaetz anti-corruption agenda with great vigor, then I might be willing to consider an increase in the threshold on the motion to vacate.
So you could raise the threshold, which makes it harder to toss somebody. Do you have any idea whether Mike Johnson is worried that you guys will do this again? I mean, I said one and done because, yes, you could technically do it, but if you keep doing this, right, that's going to complicate a lot of your party's governing agenda.
I do not want your viewers to get the impression that I want to govern by motion to vacate. This was something that we had to do because Kevin McCarthy had lied to us.
He's got a point. And look, it's an effective weapon to use. And think about it. We saw a speaker get removed from the House of Representatives. Our great-grandparents never saw that, okay? Your grandparents never saw that. None of you saw that. And hell, all the young children now who are just walking around this crazy upside-down world of ours saw that in real time. That's the first time for anyone. Boomers, Gen Xers, Millennials, Gen Z. We never saw that before. I'm going to give that a pass. That was great to see. I rather enjoyed it. I smiled a little bit because I was, once again, I got the confirmation that forced to vote works.
One thing that...
So it was a McCarthy thing for you?
Well, undeniably, if Kevin McCarthy had maintained his commitments to pursue single-subject spending bills, if he had released the January 6th tapes, if he had called for the votes on a balanced budget amendment and term limits as he had promised, then he would likely still be Speaker today. It wasn't about the man so much as his unwillingness to adhere to the agreement that he had made.
Well, you know, we keep it real around here, and I appreciate you coming on. It seems sometimes...
MSNBC keeping it real. Hold on. Let's have democracy in the chat. A little bit off subject. Type 1 if you think BSDNC keeps it real, because they tell you the truth and you're informed, and now you know more about the world every day that you step outside. Type 2, man, what the hell do you mean keep it real? Don't make me smack you upside the head. MSNBC keeping it real. My ass.
Somewhat about the men, because you seem to have beef with him and him with you. It did seem at times to get quite tense. Let me ask you about
that's
funding.
Not true, though. I want to push back on that because I can cite specific things that Kevin McCarthy agreed to do. And the reason I brought this motion to vacate is when I went home to my constituents, they looked at me and said, Matt, you promised us a term limit vote. You promised us a balanced budget vote. He's not doing these things. And you said there was a one-person motion to vacate. So it was really accountability for policy and procedure failures more than it was any beef.
We have informed viewers, and they've lived through it and watched it all, so they can adjust and assess what you're saying based on what they saw, because we saw that. But I do want to get you, while I have you on, one of the things that you all said was bad was that you said Kevin McCarthy was working with Democrats or doing so in the wrong way. Let me show you. Take a look.
Working with the Democrats is a yellow brick road that has been paved by Speaker McCarthy.
The Speaker fought through 15 votes in January to become Speaker, but was only willing to fight through one failed CR before surrendering to the Democrats.
The only time that we lost the conservative agenda was when Kevin McCarthy went behind the Republican conference and was able to retain a majority of Democrat votes.
You and others said that. And yet, this is the question I've been dying to ask you. I haven't seen you in person since this all went down. Look at this chart. Congressman Gaetz, you were in the minority. You partnered with over 200 Democrats to oust Kevin McCarthy.
Hey, Sam Cedar, I hope you're taking notes. All right. This is how you force out a speaker, right? So again, just for all of you to know, you know, maybe step Jimmy Dore outside your head. Jink, I hope you're taking notes on this too. But, you know, let's say the 15 congressmen and women formed the voting bloc and withheld their vote from Nancy Pelosi. That would not have helped then Kevin McCarthy to become Speaker of the House, because then another vote would have taken place and another vote would have taken place, like we saw with Kevin McCarthy when the Republicans had a majority in the House. See, the majority party, so long as no one breaks ranks, they get to vote on whoever the next speaker will be, or if they choose to keep on voting, unless the speaker chooses to, I guess, I don't know, compromise with their opposing party members in order that said opposition group within their party gets what they want. Wouldn't that have been great? Wouldn't that have been great? But instead, here we see another example. 8 Republicans, including Representative Matt Gaetz, broke ranks to get Kevin McCarthy out. So there you go. Sam Cedar, write your letter of apology to Breonna Joy Gray. And it better be in cursive, and I want to be very articulate. Say you're sorry. That's all you got to do.
And so the question to you, and this is not a left or right question, as you know, there are conservatives and Republicans who've raised this issue with you in this recent time. Why is it bad when Kevin McCarthy partners with Democrats to keep the government open, but it's okay when you do it to actually shut down basically a functioning House for a few weeks?
Well, we shut down for 22 days. Keep in mind, every year, Congress takes a 6-week vacation. So we took about half the time of the normal vacation, and I actually think it was some of our more productive
And you couldn't have done it without those 200 Democrats. You couldn't have done it without working with Democrats, right?
Yeah, and by the way, I work with Democrats regularly, whether it's on privacy rights, on FISA issues, whether it's on criminal justice
But I just
reform.
showed you saying that was a yellow brick road paved by McCarthy.
Right,
You say that was wrong.
Well,
Tell it.
that was a
here.
tight clip.
There it is.
Yeah.
Let me, and I'll give you the mic back.
Sure.
Our viewers, they don't always hear directly from you. They see, coverage of you. Explain to us in logical English why it's bad when he does it and okay when you do it.
Well, I had to work with Democrats to remove McCarthy because he worked with Democrats to violate the agreements he had made with us.
Why am I laughing? Because the Democrats lost somebody that was more than willing to compromise with them. Okay, I know, surprise, surprise. Don't tell that to AOC. Now, do the Democrats care? No. But just listen to that one more time, because that's funny. It's kind of funny. The Democrats, in order to maybe get a big win and cause more Republican infighting, lost somebody that they could talk to as speaker. Now, granted, to be clear here, Kevin McCarthy is a Republican through and through. But it seems like this new House Speaker, he ain't willing to play ball with the Democrats or the Biden-Harris administration as much. Everyone hear that? We're going to rewind it and play it again one more time.
Coverage of you. Explain to us in logical English why it's bad when he does it and okay when you do it.
Well, I had to work with Democrats to remove McCarthy because he worked with Democrats to violate the agreements he had made with us. Had Democrats or had McCarthy not worked with Democrats on the debt limit deal in violation of the guardrails we had set up, certainly I wouldn't have worked with Democrats to remove him. But it's not.
Yes, isn't that funny? See, for some reason, the Democrats maybe thought that they had a win. Or either that, they're just plain stupid, or they're just willing to go along and cause further destruction. No matter how this plays out, the Democrats have egg on their face. And they were generally played. Be it deliberately, they chose to go along with this, or they just don't understand the House procedures And Matt Gaetz got a huge win over an entire political party in the U.S. House of Representatives. Just one more time. I'm so sorry, but all of you have to hear that. He's telling people he's giving away that secret sauce. One more time. Third time's a charm.
Sure. Our viewers, they don't always hear directly from you. They see, coverage of you. Explain to us in logical English why it's bad when he does it and okay when you do it.
Well, I had to work with Democrats to remove McCarthy because he worked with Democrats to violate the agreements he had made with us. Had Democrats or had McCarthy not worked with Democrats on the debt limit deal in violation of the guardrails we had set up, certainly I wouldn't have worked with Democrats to remove him. But it's not, I think we're being a bit reductive here. It's okay to work with Democrats in divided government. It's actually necessary and required if you want to do the essential functions of government. What's not okay is for Kevin McCarthy to blow through the guardrails we set. For example, we told him that he was authorized to negotiate a debt limit deal that was to a certain date or a certain dollar amount, whichever came first. He then blew through those guardrails to just suspend the debt limit entirely until January of 2025. We've already accrued $2 additional trillion in debt.
Right. So you're saying, look, people can assess that, like I said, for themselves. You're saying that that was the enforcement against deals you'd already made. I'm running out on time here, but finally, big picture, take it all together. Did Matt Gaetz and the rebels win because you got the speaker you wanted and now you don't have to vacate or play those strategies anymore? Or are Matt Gaetz and the so-called rebels still out here and Johnson should be just as worried over his shoulder as McCarthy?
The correct answer is both. The correct answer is both. Okay. I just have to say it. Look, I'm not a fan of either party. But Matt Gaetz effectively used political power to get what he wanted. He used his own know-how and various tactics to not only upend the Republican Party, but put all of Congress and D.C. on notice. He's able to effectively build a small coalition to challenge his own party, remove the Speaker of the House, play another political party as fools. I have to walk away from this segment with respect for Matt Gaetz. This is what I want to see out of maybe our progressive leaders. Now, that's not going to happen because they're puppets to the DNC, and all of our quote-unquote progressive heavyweight champions are nothing but spineless, nutless wonders who have no soul, who have no heart. This is how you use power. This is how you get things done. Now, of course, to be clear here, the Republican Party, owned by corporate donations, by lobby groups, his own connections are going to get some great benefits too. That's how the game is played in D.C. Hopefully we could see more of this in the future. Maybe in the end, it can inspire all of us as citizens to get involved and, I don't know, make our own states, individual states, citizen ballot initiative states. Seems like a bold plan that maybe we can use as citizens.
It's the former. We are here to make Mike Johnson as successful as a speaker as he can possibly be. He has sat next to me for 7 years on the House Judiciary Committee. We served together on House Armed Services. We have very aligned perspectives on a vast majority of issues. So this is our guy. This isn't a guy that we're going to chase around with a motion to vacate. This is a guy we're going to do everything we can to pour into and make successful.
I gave you time. I want to mention for viewers, it's your guy, which is different from how we started the interview, which you said he's everybody's guy. He's across the board, but now he's your side.
Well, look, he can be our guy and he can be the guy for other folks. Everybody voted for him, but I think people can be enthusiastic about Mike Johnson for different reasons. Yeah. I'm very enthusiastic about him being an honest man, a true conservative. I think others that might not hold his perspective on some of those policy questions really like his leadership style.
Well,
so what can we take away from this? Well, now, let's hear from the other side, from the Democrats, from the none other than everyone's personal favorite, 5 years in Congress, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So what does AOC say? Democrats, AOC, you do realize you were played as fools, right? It's not even April, but you already look like fools. Introducing extremist GOP Speaker nominee Mike Johnson. I thought Kevin McCarthy was an extremist, AOC. Oh my goodness. Don't tell that to Fat Tony. I mean Cenk Uygur or Sammy Boy Cedar. He was a key architect of the January 6th strategy to overturn the U.S. election. January 6th. Oh no. Oh no, not January 6th. Really? It was, God damn it, man. See, it's going to be politicians like her and all the other big-brained idiots in the Democratic Party are going to keep on bringing this up. January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. Like comparing it to Pearl Harbor or 9/11. January 6th was just a bunch of stupid people, okay? That's all it was. It was stupid. It was stupid. It was stupid. It wasn't the end of democracy. It wasn't the end of the republic. You know, the way Democrats and liberals compare January 6th, it's like Julius Caesar is crossing the Rubicon and is almost close to Rome. No, it wasn't. Tweet goes on to say, here he is leading a crowd that's booing and telling congressional correspondents to shut up when asking about it. This is rather funny. And hey, there's my favorite representative, Laura Boebert, right there. This is rather funny.
Can you help lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results?
Now it's the old lady that's saying shut up, not Mike Johnson, okay?
Next question.
He's not saying shut up, AOC. You're accusing him for something he didn't do. It's the old lady there. Here, just one more time. Let's pay attention.
Can you help lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results?
Next question. Next question.
Jeez, AOC. Again, here he is leading a crowd. He just said next question. He shook his head. Like, I'm not a fan of Republicans or Democrats, but look, okay, if you're going to accuse somebody for a crime, at least have proof. The key word, proof, AOC. This is how you know Democrats are bitter, knowing that they probably got played by Matt Gaetz. And you know what? There's only one thing to say about somebody like AOC, who now has egg on her face. AOC, what you deserve is a big old oof. 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 So do I think anything is going to improve with Mike Johnson now being our House Speaker? No. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Nothing's going to fundamentally change. Nothing will change, unfortunately. But I will say this, in comparison to AOC and the Democrats and Matt Gaetz and the Republicans, Matt has cemented himself as a key power player and as someone who has outmaneuvered the entire political system in Congress. Hopefully, maybe someday, progressives can actually get somebody or people that will actually fight and go all the way. Maybe. Maybe. But alas, we only could dream. Until then, we have a new Speaker of the House of Representatives. But if you think that you're going to be first in line, my fellow citizens, you're sadly mistaken. I mean, come on, this is Congress. They don't like you. They don't think about you. They don't respect you.